And that first half was terrific. I'll bet anything that the second has even more in store for them. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think it's going to be a spectacular final two quarters.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for the East All-Stars, Irving is out there with Harden. Then it's Paul George. And there's Embiid. And it's Jokic in at the power forward position. And so it's Irving. He brings it up for the East All-Stars. Inside, here's Harden. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got assist number 5 here tonight.
I've got a word for Harden. It's indefatigable. Say that real fast. Which basically means he's tireless, even when he's carrying the whole offense. He's got great energy and stamina.
The kick out to Antetokounmpo. No one here, James, as he lets it go. Good shot there, and it's off target. He's with the ball. To the inside. Embiid.
Irving is comfortable running the offense. When a teammate's open, he's quick to whip it around and get him a good look.
13 feet away. And Embiid pulls it down.
I wouldn't say that's exactly his spot now. I mean, and you can see why.
No. Buddy near Irving. And the three ball is good. Irving's got 7 points.
I love the three-point shooting of Irving. Excellent at dialing it in from deep. And you've got to respect his range. And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through.
And that's an alley-oop that'll be loop to loop all day long on the highlight reel.
Embiid finds Harden. Now Jokic kicks it out to Harden. It's rebounded by the West. Antetokounmpo's got rebound number 9 now. 1 effort here tonight. And the dunk by James.
Well, what more can we say about LeBron? I mean, he's simply one of the greatest to ever play.
And here's the East. Outside, George. The pass to Embiid. Back to George. The East All-Stars need to get another shot. And there's Embiid. That's good on the assist by George. 10 points for Joel Embiid.
Well, you certainly can't fault him as the reason they're behind. He's been on target on top of his game. A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. And stolen by Simmons. Here we go, one-on-one. Back to James. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Here's Harden. It's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Steph Curry's checked in for James Harden. Towns, he's checked in for the West. Trae Young comes in for Simmons. Towns, no luck.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
And, guys, always a tough catch on the line. Placement and timing have to be close to perfect.
That one goes. Count it. 11 points in the game.
Man, what a special player Antetokounmpo is, sharing the sugar there. The vision he showed, nice shot finding the open man.
I'll go get another chance. That one is good from Joel Embiid.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
With the putback. The East All-Stars on offense. Now, here is Irving. He has 7 over Young. The East All-Stars check on 2 more.
And the mid-range shot of Irving is impressive. He has wonderful form with that shot.
And Giannis comes to town.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
He is delivering a lot of room service times tonight. One sweet one after another.
Here's Embiid. The West All-Stars pull it in. Lobbed up there for KD. Oh, and they get away on the alley. Not to be. Good play defensively. Here's Curry with the 3. Can't hit that one.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And, you can sense his frustration. This is going to be a test of his resolve here.
Pass to Embiid. Jokic with it. Antetokounmpo defending. Outside Curry. Passes it to George. It's Jokic top of the key. Curry wide open. No good on the triple.
Well, just cannot buy a bucket, guys. I tell you what, that's a painful quarter for him, and it's painful for me to watch, too.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
The West All-Stars have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line. And the East with some changes. Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Jokic. Bradley Beal comes. Group substitution here for the East. Jokic, he's checked in for Griffin. Paul George comes in for Beal. James Harden, he's checked in for Steph Curry. And Irving subbed in for Lillard. On the free throw, no good. With the two-way contract, a relatively new invention that gives players time in both the G League and the NBA.
I love it, Kevin, because it's another pathway for those aspiring to be NBA players to have a legitimate shot to make their dream come true. The G League is just a notch below the NBA in terms of overall talent. And so I love the fact that players who desire to be pros can have a pathway to get to the NBA by being part of the G League as well.
And these G League players are having an impact, aren't they? They're making a difference on a lot of teams.
40% of the players in the league have spent some time in the G League, so it speaks to the impact the G League has on the NBA.
On the court for the West All-Stars, LeBron James is out there with Durant, then it's Simmons, and then there's Antetokounmpo. George dishes to Embiid, pass to Jokic, 6 to shoot, takes it off the glass. Jokic has got 9 points in the quarter.
One thing you got to love about Embiid is how unselfish he is. I mean, he's pretty good at spotting open teammates.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the West All-Stars.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but I also like the balance because they're doing a great job of getting inside and converting around the rim. I really like their aggressiveness.
And here's Lowry. He'll bring it up for the East All-Stars. Embiid is at the elbow. Over onto the Kumbo. Embiid, no good.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
James. And James throws it down.
Boy, you've got to appreciate the passing there. Results in a great look.
Here's Westbrook. Look, we hear a lot about the young basketball players in this country, the good ones playing the AAU system. Is that the best way to develop talent for the NBA?
It's one of the better ways because the competition level is quite good across regions and throughout the country with these AAU teams. I think there's some great AAU programs and some tremendous benefits of participating in AAU basketball. Some teams are better than others with it, but overall, I think it's pretty solid.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense with no time to react.
And you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
Now the pass to Jokic. Back to Lowry. 5 to shoot. Outside, George. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry.
And that kind of awareness from George is really exceptional. Catching the defense flat-footed by rising up immediately on the catch.
He breaks out the tomahawk. No soft finish there. Pure power.
We could feel that one all the way over here.
Yeah, great aggressive move to the bucket there. He wasn't about to pass that one up. He threw it down.
Here's Embiid. Pass to Jokic. Down low. Here's Westbrook. That shot off the mark. The West All-Stars will go the other way with it. Loads it up for Giannis. Up high to stop the alley.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry.
Well, you need both to make it special, and they pulled it off just right.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Or should the NBA consider widening the court to even out the value of those corner threes?
That wouldn't be a bad idea, Kevin. But I also like the fact that there's a deep 3 at the top and on the wing. And then you've got a little shorter 3 if you can get to that corner. Widening the lane to make that 3 more in line and symmetrical with the deep 3 at the top. I kind of like having a short corner 3.
I agree with you.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
For a couple of years now, the NBA has released the last 2 minutes report detailing missed calls in any game. Does it hurt the officials to have that information out there?
I don't think it hurts. It's not always comfortable, but I like the transparency of the move. I really do. I think when we're transparent about the human nature of what we do as broadcasters or referees or players or coaches, I think it makes for a better product. So I'm in favor of that.
And now they're shooting it pretty well. That was not something we would have said in that first half.
And it's Paul George with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly a foul of frustration right there.
Not his best moment. Obviously, no one on their team's happy right now, but you shouldn't be taking that frustration out on your opponent with a poor foul.
And the East All-Stars making a change here. Beals checked in. Lowry passes to Jokic. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 4 rebounds now tonight. To the middle, Durant, and then Durant with the jam.
Yeah, that's just the height, the length coming into play there. No one's stopping Durant.
KD's gone 5 for 5 shooting here tonight. The feed to Westbrook. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. At free throw mission, Jimmy Butler, who's jumped in for Paul George. The West All-Star is also changing it up. Pascal Siakam comes in for Kevin Durant. And Trae Young subbed in for Ben Simmons. And another basket to his impressive total. It's his 9th against 12 attempts.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Lowry with the ball. Outside Westbrook. The 19-foot shot. Good as a catch-out ball.
And Westbrook is a terror from the mid-range. Terrific at sticking it to the defense from that spot on the floor.
Count it good.
And it just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
And some changes here for the East. Embiid, he's checked in for Jokic. And it's Griffin in for Russell Westbrook.
Well, you have to like how he's challenging the defense now in the second half. Getting to the line for a lot of free throw opportunities.
Passes to Embiid. Outside Beal. And the East All-Stars call time here.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
Yeah, typically there's some type of adjustment made out of a timeout. It might be major, or it could be just a slight tweak.
And with this game closing in on the final buzzer, let's take a look at our Jordan player of the game.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
And the tradition and honor of just being invited to play here, let alone receiving honors of All-Star Game MVP. Just tremendous. In fact, one could argue he had a couple great candidates here, but he deserved it. 8 seconds left in the fourth. Now Young. So no problem for the West All-Stars as they get the win.
And it's impossible to know what's going to happen in these games. The talent on both sides is always so strong. But tonight, the West seemed a little more comfortable playing together as a unit, and that's what earned them the win.
You mentioned that all broadcast long, and sure enough, it came to fruition. That's the conclusion of our All-Star coverage. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. For Clark Kellogg and Greg Lupton, this is Kevin Harlan wishing you all a very good night.